everyone, today is Thursday, the 9th of May, 2019. This is The Gap, episode 466. My name's Lawrie. Joab Gilroy's here. How you going, Joab?
Oh, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, you got your green screen set up in the background there? You've been doing some homemade movies?
It's for all my best homemade movies. There's a big mirror, and so I had to drape something over it so that I could use my Vive in this room. Because if they reckon, like, Valve is insistent that mirrors will not fuck up the base stations, but 1000% a mirror fucks up the base station reflection. Like, the reflections fuck up the base station. So if you block it with some cloth, then you can fix it. So I got green because I play
multi-purpose.
Play some Beat Saber. And I always like those videos where they superimpose themselves in the world. Yep. They look like fucking Jedis, but yeah, fuck to fucking be bothered figuring it out. And I'm terrible at Beat Saber as well, so that's probably never going to happen.
Yeah,
but maybe some other VR game. I don't know. I don't know. They announced they released details of the new VR thing. The other week, the Index, and it's still way too expensive, I think.
Yeah, we were in LA, I think, when those prices came out. It was something like $1,200, or $1,000 US for the whole package.
Yeah, and the games just aren't there yet. But I'm glad. Like, I'm glad I've got one. Like, there are some cool games, but it's only worth it because I can write it off on tax, or have already written it off on tax. Yeah.
I mean, the weird thing is, Valve announces this thing, right? And they don't have a game to go with it.
That's the weird
strange thing to me. Is
so fucking dumb. Like, it would be like the Xbox Xbone 2 being announced, and they were like, oh, and our third-party developers will surely make games for it. You're like, motherfuckers, you're supposed to make games. Like, fucking, you want people to buy this thing, you should probably have some games for it. Yeah. Same goes for fucking for Valve. It's just inexplicable to me. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. Anyway, the new controllers look pretty fucking cool. They've got like individual digit recognition, so you can, like, I don't know, finger guns, 2 finger guns. That's it. The shocker? No, which one's the shocker? That one. Yeah. Give them the shocker, I guess, but that's about it, right? Like, yeah. I don't know if you need that much more than grip at this point. No, I don't see games specifically utilizing it, really, so I don't know if it's much point. Oh, well, anyway, so that's the story of my green screen. Can you see the whiskey shelf, though? That's the more important
your new bar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all whiskey. It's only whiskey. It's an impressive stock of whiskey.
Guided by your photo frame.
And obviously, Jesus watches over it. The no longer hidden Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. We don't have a ton of games to talk about this week, mainly because we've been playing one
game over.
There's a bunch of news though, so we'll kick on to it and see what's going on. But let's start off with Tick Tock.
Tick Tock, yeah.
Isn't this a character from, like, The Wizard of Oz?
Fucking fresh reference, Grandpa.
Full circle.
Maybe, I don't know. It's also that stupid fucking app, the new Vine or whatever that everyone's using, but which is what my wife downloaded initially when I told her to get this. It's actually it's a 2-person puzzle game. So you get it on your phone, and someone else gets it on their phone, and you play it at the same time. And the trick is that, like, you can only see what's on your phone. You don't show each other phones. You have to communicate. everything you see. And so you basically scroll around this area, like these areas, and you piece together these puzzles. And like a really simple one early on is that on one screen you've got one half of a newspaper clipping, and the other screen has the other half, and you can actually I'm going to spoil this is like literally the first fucking puzzle, so I don't feel too bad about spoiling it. It's just to give an example, but it's on one half. It's like, she said that she disappeared at around 10:30, and on the other part of the puzzle, on the other part of the newspaper clipping, it says, but she later revised that to say that it was an hour and a half later. And the only thing you can interact with in that screen at that time, apart from the newspaper clipping, and you've both got different newspaper clippings, is a clock. And so if you change the clock to 10:30, right, based on the information you've got on one screen, nothing happens. But if you add an hour and a half and change it to midnight, then the game basically begins. It's literally the first fucking puzzle. It's the start of the game, is to get the clock to change to 12 o'clock. And then from there, the puzzles get vastly more complex. And you play the entire thing by communicating the whole time. And it's really fucking cool. Like, it's very different and, like, super interesting because everything you do is completely independent of the other person. It's not like you're connected via network or anything. It's literally just you guys working at the same time and, like, playing along at the same time and communicating and talking through everything you're doing. So, yeah, it doesn't need like wireless or anything like that. You just need to play. I'd like both say you're going to play at the same time, and it's really fucking cool. It was like $5, and I balked at it at first because both people need to buy it.
Yeah.
But fucking Galaxy Brain over here, right? If the other person you're playing with has it is in your Google Family account, then it's, you only have to buy it once and everyone can fucking play it, which is pretty sick. So obviously my wife is in my Google Family account, so she was able to straight up play it. And it's really cool. My wife has vision problems, like vision impairment, and it's got some tiny text which makes things a little bit complex sometimes, but once she... Like, I thought it was really interesting. She sort of uses context a lot to get past the hurdles that, I guess, vision impairment conveys. And she was able to use, like, context clues to get through a lot of this as well, and just sort of glean out the important details and stuff like that, so that she get to the point where she, like, we can solve the puzzles together and stuff, which is really cool. The only super tricky part was I clicked on a thing, and it basically finished the puzzle sequence for us and wiped my screen clear. And I desperately needed to still have my screen available so I could explain the moves that she needed to make to get through to the next stage. So we basically had to fucking guess, like, deep remember what was on my screen so that I could fucking, like, piece it back together again so that she'd be able to move on to the same point as I was. But like, otherwise, like, really cool, like a really fucking cool idea. And yeah, I like those communication heavy games where it all comes down to your ability to talk through shit with other people. And co-op puzzle solving is good fun. It's worth a look. 100% worth a look. That's it. That's all I got.
Right. Yeah, I've been looking for some good mobile games lately. Every time I look, there's just like nothing going, man. There was like one at the top of the charts the other day called like Clean Road,
right?
Cleany Road or something like that, and it's fucking terrible. It's so bad.
My pay no attention game, I basically just go to Adult Swim games if I want like a pay no attention game. At the moment I'm playing Giant Boulder of Death, which is just a sort of you play a boulder and you tilt and you sort of dodge spikes and you roll over enemies and collect coins, and that's about it. And you see how far you can get. That's a good time waster. That's my current pay no attention. The other one they've got is what's the fucking? They got a match 3 game that's actually pretty good. I'll find it in a second. It's like Adventure Express or something. Adventure Express, yeah. It's a match 3 game. That is, yeah, pretty good. It's got it's very puzzle questy.
Yeah.
It's all levels, like you are moving from one place to another, and so each new one is a different level. Which I guess I'd like. What I'd really like out of it is sort of an endless one, like an endless run where you just see how many fucking enemies you can defeat over and over again. Like more of a dungeon run type thing, but that's not what it is. So I guess deal with it. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. I play way more Giant Boulder of Death because it's like it's just not exactly Adventure Express. Just isn't exactly what I want out of a match 3, like monster puzzle quest type game.
Yeah.
I don't think there ever will be exactly what I want out of a puzzle quest type game.
Yeah, I was looking to see what those guys are up to yesterday.
Yeah.
They don't it looks like they don't even release games anymore. The last one they did was like Marvel Puzzle Quest, and that was in 2013 or something like that.
Yeah.
And at one stage they got bought out by, I think it was Fire Monkey or was it Fire Mint? One of those two. Started with the Fire, because they're an Australian studio.
Yeah.
And then apparently they went back to being independent and just haven't really done much. I looked at the designer that made that stuff, and he did one game a couple of years back that looked, it was like another a puzzle quest type game called like Tiny Quest or something like that.
Right.
But it just didn't really appeal to me.
Yeah.
Because those games, I really like those games.
Yeah, me too.
They're too, I don't know, man. They're too mobile focused these days, like with microtransactions and fucking energy and
and it's such a problem because I will and have happily paid $5 for a game that I think is worth it, right? But if I get it free and it pesters me to refill my fucking energy, I guarantee you I will never spend a fucking cent. I will never spend a cent, and it'd have to be fucking spectacular for me to not uninstall it on the spot. It drives me bananas, right? It's such, I know that we're not the target, though, right? Savvy consumers are not the target for these games. They're trying to get whales, and we're not whales, and so they just don't give a fuck about us. But it still sucks. I would genuinely pay money for the right game, and I absolutely pay money for a bunch of the wrong games while I'm trying to find it. So I understand the cost benefit analysis concepts, the business fucking model type thinking that leads people to believe that they have to go the whale route, but like the whale hunting route. But I just don't think it has to be for everyone. And I don't know.
Yeah. I was doing a weekly, it's the first time I've done it, like one of those weekly quests in Candy Crush Friends. I think I talked about this it's like I wake up in the morning, I fucking do my empires and puzzles, whatever the fuck it is, and my Candy Crush. But I've been doing this weekly quest or whatever, and it's one of these things where you have to do 10 stages, you get to the end and you get the prize, and it gives you unlocks and whatnot. And I got to the last level 10, and I'm like, you can't beat this without fucking spending money. This is the first time I've played this game. I've gotten to a point in Candy Crush where I'm like, you legit need to spend money to beat this level. It's fucking, it seems impossible. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get to it's like 3 screens long, and it gives you like 20 fucking turns to try and do it. And I'll get to like the bottom of the second screen and still have another screen to go.
Yeah.
And it just seems like you've got to use your power-ups to get past these certain bits. Like, it wants you to buy them.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I've played that game where I felt fucking cheated. Sometimes I'll play one of the regular levels and it'll take me a couple of, maybe half a day to get past. Like, I'll have to come back to it later on when my lives have refreshed, my energy's back.
Yep.
But I've never felt like one of those levels where I'm fucking stuck. Like, I can't get past this bit. Looking at that type of level, I was like, this is stupid. This is literally impossible to beat on a normal, like, by just playing it. So yeah, that I'm never going to play that part again. But I'll play the normal level. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been, I don't know, man, like Candy Crush and Empires and Puzzles or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called. Has sort of been on my rotation for like the last 2 or 3 months, and that's like I get up in the morning or before I go to bed, I'll quickly have a go. So I've been looking for something else, and just there's nothing like popping up. Every time I install something, it's just crap.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any suggestions out there for some good mobile games,
Hit us up.
definitely let me know, because I'm all about that.
Yep.
Just doesn't seem to be much good stuff out there. So yeah. Talking about good stuff that is out there, let's talk about Mordhau. This is a game that sort of popped out of nowhere, I feel like. Like, we got back from LA and everyone was playing it on the internet, on stream. Like, all the streamers were playing it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like they must have just sent a bunch of fucking codes out
Possibly.
for it or something, because there was a lot of people that we saw playing it.
Yeah.
I haven't picked it up. I've been pretty hesitant about grabbing it, mainly because I wasn't sure whether or not there were local servers.
There
And
definitely
it seems
are.
like a game that really needs it.
It absolutely does, yes.
So yeah, tell me, what is it exactly? What's going on here?
Alright, so it actually, like, I had it wrong, right? And the reason I wound up getting it is because I realized I had it wrong. But basically, Mordhaus sprung from the loins of Chivalry. You remember Chivalry, the first-person chop 'em up, and that was a medieval combat simulator type game. Mordhau sprung from the loins of that. It was sort of created because essentially a bunch of people who were involved with Chivalry were not happy about the direction that Chivalry was going in that Chivalry was focusing on being an esport, and it was doing it in the worst possible way. It was using glitches essentially to raise the skill cap, the skill ceiling, in a way that was essentially like super anti-competitive. You basically had to be able to do these spin to win glitch type things. And it was sort of like skiing in tribes, right? Where eventually you had to be able to ski or you just wouldn't be able to fucking play. Except instead of being, a simple mobility concept that was ultimately quite intuitive, right? It was like fucking, remember bunny hopping back in the beta of
Counter-Strike.
Yeah, back when people first worked it out, and the timing on it was fucking like precision, ultra precision. And yeah, it was like that, except if somehow bunny hopping was a combat skill, right? And so the entire game of Chivalry wound up becoming like revolving around these glitches, and it was super unsatisfying. That's when I stopped playing it. That's when a lot of people stopped playing it. And evidently it's when the Mordhau team decided that they wanted to
go do their own thing.
Make a game that was like that, but not full of glitchy bullshit. And they're committed to fixing any glitchy bullshit at the moment it gets found out and all that kind of stuff. So Mordhau is a first-person medieval combat simulator type thing, along the same lines, uh, except it's committed to no glitchy bullshit, which is sick. I'm about it. It's got a couple of modes. It's got Frontlines, which is basically Battlefield, but with swords.
Right. So
Uh,
like controlling points.
yeah, you cap points, and then it's actually a lot more like what's that fucking game? Frontlines, Fuel of War, or whatever the fuck it was. Remember way back in the day, and then the Homefront game sort of like borrowed very heavily on it, and for ages I thought that was going to be like, and in some ways I definitely think it is where it should have gone, but that's like that was where Battlefield was going to go. But basically you
Yeah.
have to capture fucking points in a row. You can't like,
Yes, like tug of war.
yeah. So, I mean, it's awesome in Battlefield when you've got like when they make the maps correctly, right? When they make a map that is a circle, and you've got like fucking points all over the place. That's cool.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna make like if they're gonna insist on doing the Battlefield 1 style of fucking straight line maps like Sinai and fucking Suez, right? It has to be that tug of war style, because otherwise it's just a fucking like there's no reason to keep throwing yourself into the fucking wall, and it becomes literally all about getting around the sides. Anyway, that's what this is. It's the fucking connected. Like you got to cap A, then B, then C, then D, then you finish off an E. And E, like to cap E, it's a separate objective. So if we go on the camp map, you have to push this barrel, this cart full of barrels into their cap, their last cap, to finish them off, right? And they have to go from E to D to C to B to A, and they have to push a cart full of barrels into A to finish you off. And they can't do that unless they own B. So yeah, basically, it becomes more challenging the closer you get to their cap, their main cap. And so there's like a full blown tug of war as you like play through it, which is sick. It's awesome. It's a little bit of a clusterfuck though, because you are constantly thrust into battles that are hilariously lopsided. Like even when you are all like when you're evenly matched, right? 64 player server. Even when there's 32 of you on each side smashing in at like the front of 1 point, it's never like 1v1 through to 32. It's always like 2 versus 3, 3 versus 2, 5v2, and like your team has too many archers, so they're just sort of fucking hanging out at the back, and that kind of stuff. Like it's always super lopsided. Like you never have a fucking clean fight with anyone in front lines. It's always a fucking stab in the back or something like that. You'll like fucking block, chop, fucking lop some cunt's head off and turn around, and there's like one of your teammates like frantically fucking dodging or blocking 2 enemies, and you just fucking run up and start hacking at the back of them and change the fucking dynamics of the fight. But while you're hacking at the back of them, one of their teammates come in and started hacking at your back and stuff like that, and it's just this fucking tricky, loopy shit. This clusterfuck of non-stop fucking aggression that isn't super satisfying, in my opinion, because it really incentivizes players to find cheap and quick ways to fucking kill people, and so you
ganking.
Yeah, right. And if you are getting ganked, you want to be able to very quickly, like, dismiss to deal with that gank without any issue. And so you wind up, like, there's a meta at the moment, which is the shield and the short spear. And it basically revolves around, so the attack, you press the left mouse button. And depending on which way you sort of move your mouse last, is the way you'll chop. So if you sort of move your mouse a little bit to the right, you'll chop across from the right. If you move it left, you'll chop across from the left, chop down, uppercut type, that kind of stuff. If you want to stab, you scroll up on the mouse wheel, and you'll execute a stab. And the short spear shield combo essentially revolves around just stabbing non-stop, because you can stab real quick with the short spear. Like, there's a short wind up, short fucking finish, and you can like stab. The trick is that there's a technique where if you perform the same move as them, you will it's like super parrying. I can't remember what the fuck they call it in game, but basically it's a super parry wherein you will block their shot and then immediately attack. And so if you come up against a rapier player, because it has the same basic stab time as the short spear, you come up against a rapier player, they do this, right? They do the stab, just non-stop stabbing. It's extremely annoying. But if you stab at the same time, you will knock their sword away and then fucking stab them. And they have to like rethink their entire fucking lives at that point, because, oh shit, he knows how to fucking super parry. It's tricky. It's still tricky with a fucking, like, the rapier or the short spear, because the wind-up time is so fucking small that the window is very fucking small for you to actually hit the super parry in. But if you hit it, you'll hurt them. The problem with the fucking short spear shield combo is that they can fucking block the super parry, like revenge strike, and so they just become really fucking annoying to deal with if you're on your own. If you're alone, it's a fucking pain in the dick to actually do anything about a short spear shield combo, and they need to do something about it pretty fucking quick. What I would think they would do is heavy duty fucking cost for blocking anything on your shield to your stamina, because you do have a stamina bar, but it seems like there's no fucking stamina cost for blocking on the shield, right? It seems like that's the purpose of the shield, is to basically wear all that damage for you, which is insane to me, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. There's just fucking no reason to not do it, right? And it's annoying as fuck. And because, like, you can actually deal with these pricks, because you can actually sort of just block, and kick them, and you'll generally always kick something away. Might be their weapon, might be their shield, it doesn't matter. Whichever thing you kick away, you've got them free from then on, right? Like, if you kick away the spear, you can just chop, and then kick away their fucking spear, their shield as well, and then you fucking chop them to death, right? But the problem with this is that there's no fucking time to put this together in a frontline game, right? There's no time. The battles, like, one-on-ones don't fucking last that long in frontline games. If you somehow find yourself in a one-on-one, because, like, I like to protect the fucking flanks, right? I like to stay on the flanks to make sure we don't get fucking swooped on and, like, have our team get fucked on. So I wind up in a lot of fucking one-on-ones or one-on-twos, protecting the flanks from cheeky motherfuckers who are trying to come around on the sides, right? If it's a one-on-one, you've got 15 seconds tops, right, before it's a one-on-two. I guarantee you. There's no, like, and 15 seconds is about as much time as you get, but then the other fucking person shows up and you've got to fucking deal with them as well. And it's just annoying as fuck, right? You've got to be able to fucking take people down as quickly as humanly possible, and there just isn't. It's just not possible against the shield short spear combo. So that's annoying. That's the problem with Frontlines. The other mode I've played a lot of is Deathmatch. And what I do is I go in the server browser and I find an Aussie Deathmatch server, and if it says duels in it, that's guaranteed a duels. Like, locked in stone. It's not like set via the server rules or anything. I'd love for it to be set that way, but it's enforced by everyone in the server. Basically, if anyone doesn't respect the duel, they get vote kicked immediately. And yeah, basically you walk up, you find someone who isn't currently fighting, you flourish by pressing, I think it's Z, Z1, do a flourish. I usually duck twice to let them know what's coming. And that's it, you fight. And it's fucking awesome, man. Like, it is a full-blown just, like, battle of wits, because you can do so much in this game. You can feint, so you can, like, swing and press Q and you'll cancel the strike. But they might have already blocked, so if you swing Q and then swing again, and they've already, like, timed their block, you just fucking chop them, right? They can't re-block again fast enough. You can switch strikes, so you can swing and then switch to a stab, or stab and then switch to a swing, and it sort of just like fucking does it very fucking fluidly, so that you wind up like fully throwing off their timing, and so it becomes a very mental game where it is literally all about timing out your opponent and learning the timing of the other like weapons and stuff like that, and like getting to the point where you know how certain like each weapon fucking plays, so that you can correctly block it or recognize a feint, or work out when you've got the time to make a move, that kind of stuff. And you wind up like, if you see a short spear shield combo in a dual server, it doesn't, like, you literally just kick their shield away, right? Nobody's using shield short spear in dual servers, because it's just a recipe for fucking disaster. To have that combo as your like on deck, right? You have to create a class basically that has the shield and the spear, and you can't have decent armor. So if the shield goes, right, you don't have any. You've got fuck all armor. You're just gonna get fucking whipped on. There's no fucking hope for you from that point. So you gotta have to hold onto your shield, or you get fucked. And so as soon as you lose your shield, you're so fucking free. It's disgusting. So nobody really uses that combo in duels. People don't really use the rapier in duels either, for the same sort of reasons. You can go the rapier in heavy armor, but you don't really have a decent slash, and so you don't have a lot of options, right? Like, you can't. Nobody's. It's like when basketball players who are shit at threes, get left wide open at the outer circle. Like, it's like, well, yeah, you just don't. It's because I don't respect it, right? Like, it's gonna do, like, a swing from a rapier is gonna do like 10 to 15 damage. So I don't give a fuck. Like, do it. Swing. I'm just walk in and kick you. Or I had a real sword, I'm just gonna fucking stab you, or whatever the fuck, right? Like, if you got a rapier and heavy armor, we know you're fucking scrolling up to win. So yeah, you're just gonna do that. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, whatever. It's fine. So yeah, in duels, you wind up seeing a lot of fucking variety that you just don't see in frontlines, because everyone's going, like, frontlines really emphasizes efficiency, and duels really respects experimentation, because you want to try to learn as much as possible, but you also want to find some stuff where people don't necessarily know the timing as well, and you want to, like, throw your fucking opponent off. So I've seen people running around with fucking daggers and shit, like, just fucking stab. Like, it's so fucking quick, but it's got like a fucking range of fucking half a fucking foot, so you can just sort of like walk backwards, and they will never fucking hit you unless you walk into the fucking knife. The like flip side is you've got dudes who are like holding giant fucking executioner swords, and they're just fucking swinging, and it doesn't matter. Like, you're learning, like, getting a big fucking lesson in the giant range of these fucking swords, because you're like, well, I'm standing a fucking 40 meters away from this shit, so I'm probably okay. And then you get like fucking your head chopped off. You're like, all right then, I guess I fucked up. And yeah, you just like, yeah, learning new shit. But yeah, one of the things I've been doing a lot of is picking up every one-handed sword I could find. The Mordhau concept. I don't know if this is like a direct translation or what, but this what it was called in the tutorial was when you've got a two-handed sword and you press R in game, you'll switch to be holding it by the blade and you'll beat a cunt over the head with the hilt of the fucking weapon. You just fucking punt at motherfuckers. I don't know why you do it necessarily, but you can do it. And it's the name of the game. If you do that with a one-handed sword, you just fucking throw it at people. And so I run around with my dude who has heavy armor and a one-handed sword by default. And I just like find one-handed swords on the battlefield, like that other dead bodies have dropped. And then I'll get into a fight and I'll just like start throwing fucking swords at people. And nobody sees it coming. Fucking ever. Nobody ever sees 3 fucking swords being thrown at them coming.
Can they block it?
You can block it. And it's not that hard to block. Like, it's just a regular block. And it'll block, but you need to, I guess, get the timing correct. So, yeah, it's not a huge window. It's a much smaller window than your regular block. And people tend to not, like, default to blocking a lot, right? People want to be sure of whatever it is that's happening before they block. They commit to a block just in case it leaves them extremely vulnerable. And so, yeah, you can, yeah, I'd say like 60% of the time it works every time, the old sword throw. But yeah, no, it's good fun. Would I recommend it? It's like $40.
It's like $40, $45 around there.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's got enough content, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's very fucking funny. But I don't know if it's got enough content to really like be worth the purchase necessarily. Just because of, like, if it was a $20 game, I'd be like, fucking do it, like, get in, right? But at $40, I feel like that changes the value prospect quite a bit. It's only got 4 Frontlines maps, and I kind of hate one of them already. So, like, that's, yeah, 3 maps I actually like to play. And yeah, it's got, like, and Frontlines has a style of play that I'm not a fan of, but I believe that they can and will fix that. The Duels stuff is fucking awesome. There's a lot more maps in Duels, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth $40 just to play Duels, though. You know, it's like it feels very rewarding to have outthought your opponents in that sort of Bushido Blade style, but. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. If I think about like Deadliest Warrior is probably the closest game that is like the game that's felt the closest to me to this, and that was like a $15 game, right? Like,
right.
I get about as much out of this as I do out of Deadliest Warrior. I think I might have got more out of Deadliest Warrior only because we exclusively played it while we were in the same room as one another and while we were drunk. So that was obviously quite amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, $40, a bit much. Good fun though. I would like to see how I'd go playing Frontlines with like some other people, like, so we could actually coordinate on some stuff.
Does it have teams, like, put you in a group, or is it just, like, 64 people just fucking running around?
Frontlines is 2 teams, like, very specifically. But
within those teams, they put you in, like, groups. Like,
no, there's no squads. There's no squads or anything, no.
Yeah, so you could literally just run around with a group of, like, 4 people, 5 people, and just probably destroy everybody.
From my playtime, it seems like there is about fucking 60 people playing fucking team deathmatch on a giant arena, and there's like 3 other people and me actually focusing on the objective at any one time. So yeah, You could Battlefield Hero Squad that shit up pretty fucking amazingly. That'd be, I assume, quite devastating.
Right.
But yeah. Uh, yeah. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just nothing I've seen about it. Like it seems interesting, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure yet. It seems a bit pricey for kind of what they're going for. Like you said, the $20 entry, $20 to $30.
Yep.
But for a game that's sort of come out of nowhere and it's like, hey, $45
Yeah.
type thing, it's like, I don't know.
Do you know what I'd love? I'd love like a Rocket Arena style mode where everyone just viewed two people in a duel and winner stays on. Because the way duels work at the moment is you're literally in a deathmatch game and just sort of agreeing to not fucking attack anyone else.
Right.
But you can also, like, there are people who sort of wait for you to finish. Like, they will literally, you will fucking finish chopping a cunt and then they will already be on you and you'll be like fucking blocking like frantically and you'll start your next duel on fucking 15 health or some shit. But if there was like Rocket Arena, Q for duel, and like fucking, you could do so much. You could do so much with that idea. You could even have like, they've got a gold system in there so you can buy cosmetics and stuff. Like you could have, you could take bets. I would bet. I would watch people fucking duel because I already do. Right, like if I'm in a server and I'm alone, like, and there's no one to fight me, I will watch people duel, and I find it fucking super entertaining. But I would 1000% bet on who was going to win a fucking duel, and I'd put heavy bets on myself. But I assume you'd have to not allow bets on your on your own matches because the incentive to throw would be too big. Yeah, like. There's so much they could do with this idea. So fucking much they could do with this idea. I don't think they have, but what they've got is a fantastic base experience, which I think is why it doesn't feel worth $40 to me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Sea of Thieves. We have been playing a lot of the Gap's most disappointing game of 2018.
We have played so much of the Gap's most disappointing game of 2018.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say like a couple of hours a day for the last
week.
Like since we got back basically from LA. Yeah.
I've been playing about maybe 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
For the last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, for people that don't know, Sea of Thieves released in a bit of a mess last year, around March, April. They started adding a bunch of content as the year went on, and it got to a really good point. I felt like by the end of last year, it was in a good space. They'd added like completely new area with the Devil's Roar. They made changes to the way combat worked, a bunch of the quests, added some new creatures in the world, things like the Megs and
the many-colored Megs.
Yeah, and like they were getting there. It felt like, all right, this is kind of the point where this game probably should have launched.
Yeah,
like if Sea of Thieves launched at October, November.
Yeah.
I mean, that game had the potential to be in
top 5
discussions for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think it could have won Game of the Year in as stacked a year as last year was, but it would be up there for some people, well and truly. And I wouldn't be surprised if the first impression it made on people was the last impression it got to make on some people, which is a real fucking shame, right? But you can't like blame people for never wanting to play it again after feeling it was way too fucking shallow when it launched, right? Because that's how they decided they wanted to launch it. So yeah, it's not on anyone else, really. It's on them for releasing it in that way when they did.
Right.
But yeah, they have made huge fucking steps in the best fucking direction. By the end of last year, like you were saying, it had turned into something that I actually liked, and was a game that, yeah, it was where it should have launched, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like just as we said, if it launched in the state it did last year, it could have been in that game of the year discussion, or at least on people's top tens list type stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was on my top 10 last year,
Yeah.
but it was still extremely disappointing because it was like this could have been so much more. In saying that, I think this could be on game of the year list for this year. Like if we're looking at games as a service, because the way they've turned it around and just the content that's in there for this anniversary update is fucking awesome. It's really good.
Yeah.
So they've added in, basically to start off at like the lower end, they've added in fishing with, I don't know, like 100 types of fish. It's different types of fish. There's
like
a lot.
9 different species of fish and like 5 of each type of fish, I think is what it's at. So it's like 50 total fish, I believe.
Right, I heard it was a lot more. Like there's stuff out there people haven't discovered.
Oh, really?
Like
okay.
That. Yeah, like there's different types of rarities and like finding them in secret areas of ponds and whatnot. Using different types of bait to catch them. But there's a lot. Like, between 50 and 100, somewhere in there. So there's a whole fishing mechanic. On top of that, there is cooking now, so you can cook all your different types of food that you get on top of the fishing as well.
Yep. So
sharks,
those pigs and chickens you'd find on islands, you can now
snakes.
Like kill them, kill snakes and cook them up and eat them and stuff like that.
And they have like health bonuses. So if you don't cook them properly, they'll make you sick and you'll vomit everywhere. Whereas if you cook them really well, now rather than carrying a banana, it gives you a certain amount of health points. You can have this chicken drumstick that you can eat multiple times, and it's something you can carry around with you.
It does like the same amount as a banana, but you can eat it like 3 times, and it also gives you bonus health regen and all that kind of stuff. Like it's sort of and it only takes up 1 slot, and like you're super incentivized to actually look into that shit. And it also like plays into a new fucking progression system, the Hunter's Call, where you've got a new path to becoming a pirate legend, and so you can just like fish and hunt and cook your way to pirate legend, as opposed to
delivering silk.
The merchants fucking guild. Like it's a lot better, like just from that perspective alone. They've done a lot. Like it's flabbergasting just how much fucking the addition of fishing alone and like the systems, the playoff fishing has added to Sea of Thieves as a game. It's huge.
Yeah. So on top of that, they've added extra types of foods as well. So everyone kind of had bananas when it launched, but now there's like coconuts and mangoes and pineapples and pomegranates, and each of these have different types of health bonuses as well. Like the banana is kind of the basic one, where it does like a very minimal amount of healing. But then you can get up to things like pineapples, where they're rare to find, but again, they do a lot of heals, and you can sort of take multiple bites out of them. So you're kind of like, all right, you want to maybe hold on to one of them, and then it gets down to like managing stuff, right? You're managing what foods you carry with you. Like, I'm going to swap out these 2 bananas for a couple coconuts because I'm going to get more out of it. So that stuff is really interesting. I'm curious to sort of see where they go with cooking as well. Like, are they going to incorporate cooking with those types of foods at some stage, or bring in like weird recipes? That'll be kind of interesting to sort of see where they go with that direction. The other thing they added was arena mode, which is basically a like ship battles with like a point system. So and this is something you've played a little bit of. I've only watched it on Twitch. So you're kind of working in teams everybody gets given like treasure maps, and you've got to go and find these bits of treasure throughout the world. And you're getting points for digging up treasure or turning them to an outpost, and also by blowing up other ships is, I guess, the basic gist of it. And you've got a certain amount of time to complete all this. And this is also separate to the adventure mode, the Sea of Thieves world. It kind of drags you into a different instance somewhere else. So you're just kind of playing with this little kind of group of people and working hopefully as a team. And it seems like you really need to work as a team, because the Twitch streams that I've watched, the guys that are like either grouped up with friends or whatever are really just dominating the other teams, because you really got to work together and trying to figure out what you should be doing objectively as a group.
It's a fucking nightmare. I'm gonna be honest. It is a fucking nightmare playing solo. It is probably the worst fucking solo queue game, like competitive game, in existence. Like, bar none. Worse than solo queuing in Overwatch, which is literally signing up for fucking nightmares. This is just the fucking worst. Because you think Overwatch, right, is a game where you are banging your head against a wall trying to keep like fucking 5 dipshits alive against one other team. Sea of Thieves is a game where you are doing literally everything to make a galleon fucking sail, while your 3 fucking morons on your team sit on the cannons the whole time, wasting cannonballs on nothing. And then, yeah, basically, like that's the game as far as I can tell. That's all it is, right? And then it's not just one fucking team that you have to deal with. It's fucking 4 other teams. And all of them seem to be explicitly better than you are. I think if you just had one other person, right, on a team communicating with you, you would be so much better off than like 4 randoms teed up together to just fucking fail.
Right. Yeah. Maybe we should jump in at some stage.
Perhaps. But yeah, no, it's a fucking nightmare, man. I don't think it's worth it, right? Like, the rewards aren't great enough to get me to keep going back. It just feels like you're just doing it for the sake of checking it out, essentially. I don't see, it's never going to be competitive. Like, there's no chance it's competitive, but it's also so antithetical to the way that Sea of Thieves itself fucking works, because Sea of Thieves is a game where the amazing shit springs from the chaos that is every fucking game of it, right? Like, every bit of the game is chaos, and the amazing stories, it's about creating those amazing stories and like sharing those stories with people. And those amazing stories come out of, the sheer chaos of realizing you're in way over your head, because manning a fucking 2-person boat when you're alone because your teammates jumped overboard or something, like, it's tricky, right? There's a lot of plates, right? It's my favorite fucking analogy, but the plates that are spinning, you got to keep all those plates fucking spinning, and Sea of Thieves is fucking spectacular in that sense. There's no story to be told about you somehow managing to keep this plate spinning a little bit longer than fucking 4 other teams, because that's all that fucking arena. That's all competitive Sea of Thieves is. That's not a story. Like, you didn't fucking randomly happen across these people. They were stuck in the fucking same space as you. Like that, and realizing that there's no fucking skill-based matchmaking or anything. So, like, there's a decent chance that everyone else on every other fucking boat is as fucked as I've been every single fucking time I played Arena, right? Like, I derive nothing from any victory that I'd get out of it, because my assumption would be we were the team that wasn't completely fucked by morons this time, I assume. This, I don't know. It's just blah. I'm just not about it. It's just a really dumb addition, because, I don't know. I'm just not in for ship combat. I just don't think it's that interesting a concept. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, right. I know they're definitely working on it. Like they're looking at making changes to it and whatnot.
I don't know what changes they could make that would make it good to play.
I mean, they could just always add more gameplay elements in there, or I don't know.
But like, it is so the opposite. It's so opposite to what Sea of Thieves is about, right? Like, at its core level, it's yeah, it's just not there. It'd be like fucking I don't know soccer introducing a mode where you're supposed to fucking throw knives at the ball or something. Like it just doesn't make sense from a fundamental level. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And at the end of the day, it's like, oh, everyone's getting hurt. Like, I wonder. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So Arena's the other new sort of faction they put in on top of the Hunter's Call. The other big changes they made were ship hull damage. So things like your mast can be destroyed, or your anchor, the captain's wheel can all be sort of attacked and cause different types of damage to them, as well as holes downstairs are a bit more like in the hull are able to get bigger.
Yep.
So if you explode like a barrel down there, or if you hit the same point multiple times, the holes get bigger and bigger, and more water comes in, as opposed to before it was like if you hit that spot, then that's kind of done. You can't really hit it again.
Yeah.
Which is good change. They added in harpoons to the front of the boats, so you can use them to do a lot of stuff. You can use them to pick up objects in the world, whether it be barrels, chests,
floating loot, people, all kinds of stuff. You can grapple onto fucking nearby like walls, rocks that are sticking out of the water, or the beach nearby if it's just below the water.
Yeah.
You can use that to quickly turn and stuff like that. So there's a new like mechanic for fast turning, which I think is like maneuverability has always been such a critical element in Sea of Thieves, and mastering maneuverability is a huge part of getting good at the game. So yeah, the harpoons are a huge deal. Yeah. What else did they add?
I guess the big one is their campaign.
Ah, yes, the Tall Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah. This series of, is it 10?
It's probably 10.
Yeah, it must be like 9 or 10 fucking quests of ever increasing difficulty that take you all over the fucking map of Sea of Thieves and have you exploring hitherto unknown areas on islands. I don't know if those areas were always there or if they've just been added, or some of them might have been. I don't know. But it's got like uncharted islands that you visit and all this kind of stuff, and it's a really good excuse to go all over the fucking map, basically. Some of it annoys the fuck out of me. I do think there's a little bit of extended travel between some of the locations. They could have maybe, I don't know, made that a little less annoying. There's a couple where you literally go from one fucking corner of the map to the other corner, and then you have to go turn in. It's like the fucking Grand Theft Auto, fucking old school Grand Theft Auto. You just like, oh, this will be a fun way to finish this fucking mission. I guess I'll just drive for fucking 50 fucking minutes. Cool. Because there's no fucking fast travel or anything like that. So, yeah, it's just it's a little bit sloppy on the quest design in that sense. Mm-hmm. But I guess they feel locked in to making sure that people, feel the gravitas of their
adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. We're up to the 6th one.
Yeah.
Yep. We would have finished the 6th one if you'd have stopped fucking about, but I guess not. Yeah, they've been pretty fucking good. Like, there's some
Yeah.
really fucking tricky shit going on. We've been playing race with Racy sometimes. He jumps in. He hasn't done the first two, I believe, which is makes it extra tricky. I believe because he's done the third and fourth ones with us, and I believe that means he doesn't have to do them again to unlock the fifth one, but he does have to do the first and second ones to unlock being able to do the third or fourth ones again.
Yeah.
So like he's in a tricky spot where he has to fucking finish those ones, and like I don't know, we don't want to go back and do those first two again until we've run through all of them. And so yeah, it's cool if like I'm happy when he comes along on a fucking mission with us, but I don't want to go back and help him like help carry him through to the next one, sort of thing, you know. Yeah, it's a weird situation from that perspective. But otherwise, like you and I are at the same like lockstep sort of situation where we're in like we've been doing them all at the same time as one another. So yeah, our progression through it is identical.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some of them were really fucking cool. The one I was all of that was because like all that preamble was because we did one where you absolutely had to have done the very first tall tale, because if you hadn't done the first tall tale, you wouldn't really have it much of an idea of how to do I think it was the fifth one. You'd like
Something
or fourth,
like that,
fourth
yeah.
one. Like you just wouldn't have any idea. Like it'd just be weird, and it's very time sensitive. If you run out of time, you fail, and you have to start from the very fucking beginning. And
some of these quests, like, I would say on average, when we've been doing them, have been taking us about an hour and a half to finish each one. Maybe longer if we get sidetracked.
And we definitely get sidetracked. Yeah, like they're not short, and being forced to reset would be a massive crotch kick. But yeah, like it's a like really tricky situation that you'd be in. Like I know we had to bail. I had to bail for some dinner, I think, and Racy went on to try to finish the mission we were on, and he wound up just drowning, I believe, in a room where he didn't know how to fucking solve the puzzle, because you learn how to solve the puzzle in the first fucking mission.
Yeah. It like kind of throws that puzzle back at you, but it adds a couple of extra bits in there.
Some significant
something a bit
curveballs,
different.
yeah. And
It's the same mechanic.
like we nearly fucking failed that one. Like we knew what we were doing, we still nearly fucking failed it. It was close. It was down to the fucking wire. It was pretty hairy. Which yeah. It was good fun though. Like it was sick. Like, and solving it was awesome as well. Like you feel
I
like
think the first one was like, to me, was the holy shit, this is going to be amazing. This
Yeah.
entire thing of like going to all these different islands and doing these different like puzzles that aren't really in the base game. They're like new things they kind of throw at you.
yeah.
And then trying to figure out like, what is it trying to tell us? And,
Yeah.
because generally it gives you like a book or an item or something to start off with, and you got to read through it, or like it gives you backstory, and then there's like puzzly bits in the book you got to try and figure out, like, all right, which island should I be going to, or you know, it'll give you like a fucking magic compass, and you've got to use that magic compass to try and figure out where your next thing is, or the one that's really nuts is the game already has like a star system set up, and they've used that star system to put that, like, incorporate that into one of the puzzles, and there's like all these different star combinations that you can go through to try and navigate this entire puzzle. Yeah, that stuff is insane. Like, they're kind of thinking outside the standard stuff they've got and really throwing in these new ideas and mechanics at you.
Well, the one we're up to at the moment, and the one we've both posted video of in the Discord, that's the sixth one.
Yeah.
And it's like it's Indiana Jones shit, all right? Like there's full blown hallways, chock-a-block with fucking traps, and these are one hit kill traps, and you have to like either like not stand on the fucking
traps.
plates, start the traps, Luke,
Joab.
or
I have video evidence.
You don't have
I've got video evidence.
You've edited the fucking video. It's not what happened.
You stand on it
You can
twice.
see it in my video that I didn't. I only stood on the video after you'd already set off the traps.
No, you stand on it, and then for some reason,
your video. You can
you
see
jump away like, oh, I'm gonna pretend I didn't stand on it.
You fucking
and then
stand on the trap.
Stand on the next one, and it's like, oh, I've done it again.
I jumped over the trap. I jumped over the trap, and you stepped on it, and you've tried to fucking blame it on me. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, you navigate all these traps, and then you get down the bottom, and then you got to find this fucking navigate a couple extra traps, and then you get down to like this fucking hectic wave run against a bunch of skeletons, and
then Joab kills you another 3 times.
But I did kill all the skeletons as well.
Well, I didn't get a chance to kill any of them.
You just kept standing where the fucking spikes would be that kill all the skeletons. It was such a hyper-efficient way to kill the skeletons that I would actually, like, next time we do it, I'm just going to recommend you stand outside of the fucking area, right? And I will just set off the fucking spikes to kill all the skeletons. I'll just fucking get it done, and then you can come in and stand on the fucking traps at your own fucking leisure, whenever the fuck you want.
Right.
It'll just be easier that way, if you just nod around. It was... Seriously, killing skeletons went so much smoother when you weren't there, which was most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were dead to traps. And not always the traps that I set off, either. Sometimes
most of them... All of them was the ones you set off.
Not all.
You set the ones off in the hallway twice. You stepped on them.
No, that's not even true. You set them off at least once.
I've got video. There's video.
No, you've got video of
proof.
Edited video. Your video is fucking edited.
Edited? What? Like some fake news shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have doctored the video. This is some fucking UFO shit, like conspiracy shit. You doctored the video to make it look like I stepped on the fucking traps. Well, everyone can see the freeze frame. You use a freeze frame to...
I zoom in to show that you've stepped on the fucking trap.
Where you fucking... Like, you're like, oh... But, like, we just skip ahead in time, don't we? Interesting how we skip ahead in time. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. What were we saying? Oh, yeah. Right. Traps. Yeah. But like, there's full-blown traps and shit. It's fucking sick. Like it comes out of nowhere, and it's such a awesome addition to this game. We've also had like so many things come out of it. Like we met those Chinese pirate legends. We're like sailing. We're in our little 2-man sloop. Just fucking Luke never dresses up our boat. So we always just sort of like fucking...
We look like newbies.
Yeah, we look like freshies. And we see this fucking pirate legend ship just sort of sitting there. And we're like, oh, we should go have a look.
Yeah.
We're like scoping it out as we fucking float past, like full-blown scoping it. And we're like, whoa, there's no one on this boat. It hasn't moved in fucking forever. I don't understand what's going on.
Because they're parked in front of an island, but it is the world's smallest island. There's like a little bit of fucking...
It's strict
like sand, like 2 palm trees.
It's fucking nothing. Yeah, there's no one there. It's like a fucking ghost ship. So yeah, we shoot Luke.
I get cannonballed. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I like bring the boat in, and Luke's on you're on their boat looking around, and they've got like chests and shit, right?
Yeah, they had chests.
But there's still not.
There's no one there.
Absolutely no one on this fucking boat, and we're like, what's going on? And then suddenly, like, I turn around, I'm on my boat. I turn around, and there's like 2 fucking pirate legends standing on the boat, on my boat, on our boat. And I'm like, oh, they're here on our boat. And I like quickly press X to put my weapon away. And you're like, the whole time, right? This whole time, I'm like, grab some chests and jump off the fucking boat. Let's go. I'm like, we're gonna rob these guys, 100%. And then suddenly they're on their boat as well. Like there's 2 of them on their boat, 2 of them on our boat. And we're like, oh, we fucked this up. But you hadn't picked up any of their chests, right? So
no, because I was all chatting to them, like, I'm coming to have a look at your boat, type stuff. And so they must have heard us.
Yeah, they must have heard us. And yeah, we're like sort of just hanging out, and they hop up and they're like, "Oh, what's happening? What's going on?" And like I crashed the boat when I'm coming up, so I'm like repairing. And they're like, "Oh, we just crashed your boat. We're just coming to say hello." But they're super broken English, and they're like handing me wood, like planks of wood, so I can fix the fucking boat. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And one was like, "What? Fuck you." I'm like, "No, not fuck you, thank you." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And then like another one's like, "Oh, are you American?" And I'm like, "No, Australian." And he's like, "Oh, Australia #1." And we're like, "Yeah, Australia #1." And that was it. Like we sort of just didn't steal all their shit and sailed on our way. We definitely could have stolen a lot of shit from them.
We could have stolen some stuff.
But the best part is, like an hour later, we were back at that island, underneath it, because one of the quests is there underneath the fucking island in this cave underneath and shit. We're like fucking, yeah, there again. That's a place. That's a place. We gotta like, if we're ever nearby there, we gotta fucking sail past and see that if there's a free fucking ship, because they might be ripe for the picking. I think.
Yeah, but I think that's my problem with this stuff is that you can then start running into people that are just trolling, like the ones, because this stuff, as we said, can take some time.
Yeah.
And if you're on the last step of that mission and some ship comes up and just fucks you up, then you've just lost an hour and a half of progress.
Yeah.
And they're not, it's not like, you know, I get it, it's a fucking pirate game, but at the same time, when you're playing that pirate game, you tend to be doing some of this stuff to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Like you're stealing the treasure or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, you're just doing it to
you're
troll.
griefing.
Like you know that island has no treasure on it. There's nothing there, and they're only there to do that last step of that, that quest.
Well, that leads us to another story we had, because we were sailing about. We were actually going past that island to see if there was anything that we could steal. Because I'm about, like, yeah, in principle, I'm about going past that island to, like, loot someone's ship and steal all their shit off it.
I'm not going to blow them up.
But I don't want to, like, I don't want to fuck up their run. But I'll think about it, right? Mm. So we're sailing past this place, that place, and we head to another island. Because we can see on the map, one of the other ships at sea has flagged themselves for PvP.
Right.
And so we can see that like they're basically on their way to go attack some people, because we can see the sails on the horizon. So we're like, oh, we'll go help out. Like we'll go kill these PvP dickholes, because they tried to go on us, and we had all these fucking red barrels, and we had hoop dreams. So
it was also foggy as shit, and we couldn't see anything.
Well, that's how we wound up getting away from them.
Yeah,
because they beelined at us. They had us fucking teed up. We managed to duck them, and so we wind up catching up, and we can see like just on the horizon that they're fucking up this other ship because it's parked at the island. And they're just they're smashing this other ship. So we come around to the other side, and you can hear that like there's a full-blown battle. So there's a battle going on the north side where the two ships are. And we sort of sail around to the south side and park, and we grab our fucking barrels and we fucking hoof it. And we're going over the fucking island. We're gonna go blow up this fucking PvP ship.
Yeah.
And while we're there, there's the other players are also sort of just fucking walking around, like just faffing about. There's a couple of them like just carrying loot and stuff, and we're not sure why, but we focused. We went and blew up the PvP ship, and like fucked them up pretty fucking good.
two red barrels, yeah.
Yeah, 2 red barrels. And then didn't you take a third one over?
I took a third one over, but at that stage, the ship, like as I'm coming around the corner, I can see the mast in the water sort of just sinking.
Yeah.
And so the second boat, like the boat that was originally at this island, was still parked at the exact same spot, and I can see people running around on it, and they're kind of just looking around. I'm like, shit, I don't want to be running up to this boat with a barrel on me because I'm just going to get shot.
Yeah.
Because they're going to think I'm attacking them.
Yeah.
So I then, like, I leave the barrel on a rock that's next to me, and then I sort of just start running up the beach. And then I turn around and I can see a guy in the water with a barrel going towards the boat, and he climbs the ladder, and then he's in the middle of the boat, and the boat just explodes, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah. So their boat got blown up. There was only one of them left on the island, so it was me and this dude who was farting about on the island. He was carrying this thing called the Trapmaker's Key. And we didn't know what it was. But we sort of guessed that it was for a Tall Tales mission item.
Yeah.
We're sort of hanging out on this island, like looking after him, basically, and fucking with him a little bit. Like I stole the key for a second and hid it in some bushes, and they definitely would not have found it, like, ever. They never would have found this fucking thing. It was too dark, and it hidden it too well. So we like grabbed it and took it back to them. We were too nice at the end of the day. But like there was a debate, and there was like an internal debate on my end about whether we were gonna get rid of this shit, because they 100% would have had to start the Tall Tale over. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It just felt way too harsh, and they didn't seem like bad guys. We were doing like a disco party for this guy, and he was like standing there clapping along and stuff like that. And,
we were the police.
Yeah, we were doing the police and stuff like that. And yeah, like he seemed like a decent dude. And then their ship came back in, and they all got on it, and then while they were sailing away, they shot us. And I've never felt more regret in my life. We should have fucking taken that key thing and sunk it in the fucking ocean. God damn it. I'm so
To be fair, they only did shoot us that one time, and it could have been just someone being like panicking, being like, oh, there's a ship here, shoot them.
Maybe.
Yeah, but they stopped shooting and just took off at that stage, and because we were in a sloop.
And they were in a brig.
Couldn't catch them.
Yeah, and we didn't have the wind. And the brig is the fastest ship, so yeah. But it was like an amazing experience. Like another amazing experience. Every Sea of Thieves experience with other players is spectacular when it goes right. Like, and like they always seem to go right when we're involved, because we seemed like we've got that right attitude. I think it's important that you have the right attitude. People feed off that attitude. Like the PvP people who are flagging for PvP, they know what they're getting into, and I think they accept it, right? But yeah, I had a game where this brig was just like kept chasing me down, and like full blown fucking me up, and so they were like, I was solo on a sloop just sort of sailing. I literally just left port, and they like got on board, killed me. 2-on-1. I was just outnumbered, and they wouldn't sink the boat. They patched the boat up and they bailed it out so that I would keep spawning over and over again. So I did keep spawning over and over again. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I don't have anything. Like, why are you doing this? And like, oh, you fucking mad, bro? You fucking mad? Blah 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 blah. Like popping off, just griefing. But that's fine. I managed to get off my boat and onto theirs, and they had a fucking red barrel in their hull, which I exploded, and took their ship down. And like, they were still mad about it. Like fucking 45 minutes later, when we ran into them again, like they were still fucking flopping off. They're like, "Oh, it's the same guy as before. Oh, you got a mate now." Oh. Yeah, dickheads. Like, that's basically it. But like, we just scuttled. Like, I think that's the good thing about being able to scuttle, is that there's just no reason now, like, to, I don't know, if people just want to be dickheads, right?
Yeah.
I think you can reason with anyone who is reasonable, and I think a lot of players are pretty reasonable and they're not dickheads. But if people just want to be dickheads, At least you can just scuttle and straight up deny them some resources and stuff. It's probably the quickest way to just move on to the next ship. It sucks that like it has to come to that, but that's the price I think you pay in a game like Sea of Thieves. Like I think you need like that price has to be there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the stakes aren't there.
Yeah. And that's the thing I've talked about before is that I really enjoy playing this game even by myself, just doing treasure maps and running around. But at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping a team of 4 guys rolling up and stealing all my shit. And because I'm a one-man sloop, I really can't do anything about it. Like, I'm just pretty much fucked. I can't outrun them. I can't out-combat them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guaranteed to just lose everything. Whereas if it was sort of match-made to be like me versus another sloop, or at least something a bit more evenly matched, I've at least got a chance then to protect myself. But otherwise, it's like,
Yeah.
So what I do these days is I generally just do one island at a time. I just don't think it's worth it for me to roll around with stuff that I've been looting for an hour.
Yeah.
Because the chance of me getting fucking rolled is like pretty high.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't turn in like if you're solo, you can't turn in on the quick. You can't do the slide turn in or anything like that. Yeah. Like I think there's like when even in a like as a twosome, there's like a lot to be said for the extreme fucking rush that you get from loading all your shit up on a rowboat, dropping the rowboat off like under the cover of fucking darkness, and like once you've managed to lose them behind an island, and then sailing off into the distance while while your rowboat person turns in and stuff. I think that's fucking. There's something epic about that. But if you're on your own, you got no fucking chance. Usually when I'm on my own, I literally only try to get on other people's ships. That's all I do. I just try to get on other people's ships and see what I can do. Because that seems like the most fun way to go about things. Yeah.
I was doing that the other night where I think you logged off and I just kind of was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I crashed my ship into one of the outposts and was like turning all my stuff in. I was like literally about to log off and a ship spawned in, like, because it's one of the areas. So because my ship is dead, they just kind of spawn in ships around the outposts, and it just so happened someone was spawning there. So I'm like, oh, all right, fucking fair enough. So I just ran over to their boat and hid in their like crow's nest, and then eventually they came running in. They were fucking around for a while, but eventually they must have scuttled and went somewhere else. But as that was happening, another ship rocked up on the other side of the island, and I went over, and it was a sloop and just one dude running chests backwards and forwards. And so I started hiding chests behind a rock. And it got to the point where there was 4 chests left, and I've got this on video still, I checked. And I moved like his marauder's chest and put it out near this rock, and then he came back and grabbed another chest, and then I went back in and grabbed like the last one, and then hid it behind this rock again. And as he was turning in, like I'm running and turning in the other chests. And so he must have gotten back and been super fucking confused when he thought, oh, there's one more chest to go. He gets back and there's no chests on the boat.
That is the fucking...
Like, at what point are you not keeping track of this shit?
How the fuck do you not know how many chests you've got left? Because even like when we're turning in, we're like, oh, how many chests? Like we'll be like fucking constantly working it out. Like,
yeah, what's the most expensive stuff?
Yeah, we're like fucking turning it in order of most expensive, and yeah, we're like how many chests are left and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, who's running defense?
Yeah, like we're fucking
like who's blocking.
We're all over this shit. Yeah, who's the decoy and all this kind of shit? No, not this dude. He's just like, yeah, cool. Well, guess I miscounted.
Yeah. Well, that run we had last night when we were doing that last quest, and we were running out of time. There was 30 minutes left. We got a server maintenance warning, and we're in the middle of this tall tower quest. I'm like, we're not going to finish this. No, we're going to finish this. And we get to the last step on that quest, and there is like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get back to an outpost. And you've got a video of this one We get back to the outpost. It's got like a minute left on the countdown. Like every time a minute ticks down, it tells you.
Yeah.
And we've kind of just grabbed the two most expensive things we got on this boat, ram the boat ashore and start running to the hands in. And we are, I don't know, like 5-10 seconds away from handing in.
If that, yeah.
And the screen starts fading to black.
Oh my god, I cannot believe it.
It's the most depressing thing.
It is a real kick in the dick.
I feel like we had more than a minute. I want to go back and time that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fucking close.
That was like 30 seconds or something.
It was like 50-ish. Because I sort of roughly timed it on my when I was clipping together video. And yeah, it felt like we got decked out about 10 seconds. Like, literally enough for us to get the turn in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's the thing about the Tortales. You're not really doing it for the money because you're not getting money out of it really at all. I mean, you do get like a lump at the end.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I want to earn money, then you go do the pirate shit. You go do forts and things like that because that's where you're going to get all your big stacks. But they try and incentivize you by giving you cosmetics as well, which is cool. Like I've got some swords and some hats out of it.
I'm into it for the puzzles, man. I reckon they're good puzzles.
Oh no, that's the reason why we're doing it is because the puzzles are good.
Yeah.
It's not like if the puzzles were shit and the money was shit, like what's the point?
Yeah.
But on top of that, they kind of incentivize you by giving you cosmetics, and I believe if you do it multiple times, you get something else as well. It's like if you complete it 5 times and it throws something else at you. I'm not 100% sure what, but I've seen that somewhere. And the cool thing about that is the puzzles are randomized, so you can do the same one multiple times, and it's not the same puzzle every time. Like it's a different part of it.
It'll like take you to a different island, or you have to solve it a different way. 'Cause each time it gives you this book, and like a lot of them are basically, in poem form type thing, telling this story, but it might tell you different parts of this story instead of telling you the lovers one, right? Like instead of telling you about the time they chased pigs on a beach, it might tell you about their first kiss or something like that instead. And so you got to like solve a different puzzle and work out how that one fucking works, which is really fucking cool. There's like mild detective work going on there, which is sick. Yeah.
Because we've done a couple of them where, for instance, that first one where we didn't finish it in time because we didn't realize it was going to take us 2 hours to finish.
Yeah.
But the second time we went back and did it, it was like, oh, okay, it's taking us to different islands. And like, different things going on. And the one we didn't finish last night, we'll go replay that, and it'll take us probably somewhere else. We've got to try and figure out like what the looking glass is, the telescope, like what the trick is for that one. I think it's so smart that they've got these individual quests, but each time you do it, they're randomized, so that there's like 6 different ways it could play out.
Yeah.
Or maybe more, I don't know. But yeah.
Yep.
I think that's really cool.
It's super cool. It's It's a fucking brilliant piece of like content. It's a fucking spectacular update. And yeah, I fucking love Sea of Thieves at the moment. I'm definitely keen to continue all the way through these fucking things, and I just like fishing, right? Like, actually, when I said before, like, if I'm playing solo, I just try to get on other people's boats. I try to get on other people's boats, or I fish, because I do a lot of fishing. It's so easy. Like, fishing is that perfect sort of video game fishing where, like, the traditional type where you you sort of just, like, leaning in the direction that they go, like the opposite direction from the way the fish is heading, to sort of try and tire it out, and then you reel it in at the right time, and then like it's simplistic, but it's entertaining, and it's just it's a great implementation, and you feel like there's a bit of luck involved, but it's good when you get a new fish, you find a new fish.
And it's smart because it's one of those things where I'm waiting for someone to do something, and so you can fish for a minute. Like if you've gone to, I don't know, man. Like we're waiting for you to join the server.
Yep.
Before we leave.
Yeah.
All I need is water. Like there's water around pretty much everywhere. You don't need bait. You just throw your line out, and you can easily, do a quest that takes a minute, or a thing that progresses you further in the game. It doesn't take you that long. Yeah, it's really smart. I want to see kind of, now that they've got these types of mechanics in the game, like with the tall tale stuff, like where do they go from here? Is there going to be, are they going to do like updates every couple of months where they chuck in an extra couple like quests, or is it going to be one quest every month, or like what's their sort of roadmap for this stuff, or is it going to be next year? Here's another 10, because I'd probably prefer them to start rolling this stuff out a bit more constantly.
Sure. I guess as we mentioned, as we were talking about last week with Apex, sure. if it's not a healthy way to work, then I think I'd prefer them to do whatever works for them. But
yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, they've released 10 of these in the span of one update. Do they start doing that again, like another 10 a year from now, or do they do them like one a month?
Yeah,
type stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer one a month, obviously, but all I'm saying is, if it's healthier for them to work, like a bit less, like on the ball and sure. Shit, then yeah.
But yeah, they released a patch today. I saw, which a lot of bug fixes. It looks like mainly, and some UI sort of reworks and whatnot, but no gameplay stuff. But otherwise, I don't know if there's much else to add about that. Yeah, we're still playing it. Like, if you see us in there, just jump in. We're probably doing something in there.
Yeah, as long as we're not in the...
keen to, once we're done, is jump back into forts and, I don't know, maybe check out some other stuff that's going on. Like, even talking about all these things we've done, I have not spent any time in the Devil's Roar.
No, your favorite.
Because the first time we tried to do it, we just got destroyed, but I know they've changed a lot of those elements.
Yeah.
So at some stage, like, I'd like to go down that direction. I feel like we're both about mid-30s for gold hoarders. Like, we're creeping up on 40.
Yeah.
I think we're both around the same sort of mark with the...
On all the levels, right? Like,
I think on Merchant, I'm like 29.
I'm just shy of 30.
Yeah.
Like, literally a millimeter off 30. It's disgusting.
And the bounty stuff, I think we're in about mid-30s as well.
Yeah.
So, like, we're getting there. I don't see us hitting Pirate Legend anytime soon.
No.
We're definitely getting our way across there.
Yeah.
I'm like 7 on Hunter's Call, the fishing stuff. So.
Fucking look at you go. You're fucking smashing.
Yeah. It's very good.
Because you actually have to turn in. That's the problem. I eat all the fish that I burn, and I burned so many fucking fish.
Yeah.
And you don't get anything for the turn in on a burnt item, so you may as well fucking eat it. I don't know. Yeah. Gold. Yeah.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. Yeah. Anyway.
Sea Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. It's awesome. Yep.
Check it out. Alright, should we do some news?
Let's do it.
John Wick Hex is announced by Good Shepherd.
Yeah. This is a weird one. It's super fucking weird, man. And I'll tell you why it's weird. It's weird because...
It's not what I expected.
It's definitely not what I expected. No, but it's weird because everyone on the internet is like shitting their pants about how it's not what they want. And they're all fucking wrong. They're all wrong. They have no idea. They just don't know what they want at this point. Because holy shit, man, it looks fucking awesome. It's exactly what I would envision. Except, like I said on Twitter, unless you literally reskin Superhot VR, right? This is 100% what I would want out of a John Wick game, because it has to be about you, like, straight up executing motherfuckers out of nothing with style and flair, and there's no way to do that everyone's like, oh, it should have max pain bullet times, but that doesn't actually work. Like that's not how.
That's not how he works. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
slow down time.
he's not Hong Kong blood opera. He's like hyper efficient murder machine, right? So yeah, like the fucking diving through the air, two guns blazing type stuff. That doesn't fucking it doesn't work that way. Instead, it has to be about getting in super close and doing some like gun food equilibrium type shit, because that's basically what John Wick does. And I think the strategy style is perfect for it. It looks like it's a point based system where you spend your points to like commit to actions in the game, and basically John Wick then like will do a fucking roll and then murder someone or something like that. And yeah, it makes a billion% sense to me for it to work that way. Frozen synapse basically is how I would envision a John Wick game, right? Frozen synapse, except single player and far more stylistic, right? And that's basically what this fucking is. But the other fucking kicker is that it's being made by fucking Mike Bithell, who made Thomas Was Alone, that fucking game. Actually, this is like the fucking weirdest fucking career trajectory in fucking video games. But he went from making the fucking game about the orange rectangle to... What was that game that I took? Subsurface Circular? Yeah. The one where you're a robot on a train, right? So, game about a rectangle, an orange rectangle, to a game about a robot on a train investigating a murder, a robot murder, to John Wick the game. Like, fucking, what the fuck? Like, that is like the fucking... that is the detour of all detours in terms of fucking career paths. I'll tell you what, like, that is some shit. That's like fucking... Oh, yeah, this director, they first did a period romance, and then they moved on to... You're going to love this. It's a mini-series about the handmaiden for the queen. And then they did John Wick 4. You're like, what? I'm not sure I understand.
Did you say John Wick 4?
But I'm about it because, like, well, I've loved his games. So, yeah, fucking, I'm in. He's doing the writing as well. It's going to be fucking amazing. And John Wick 3 is out next week.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! I'm so amped. I'm all John Wick at the moment. Yep.
Yep. Did they announce a date for it? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
No. They just announced it's coming.
Yep. Yeah. I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if it wasn't out soon. Right. I'm going to have a quick look. Yeah.
From what I can tell, there's no date on it. It's just the announcement we've got is heading to consoles, Windows, PC, and Mac.
If this is going to Switch, it is the fucking playing game of all playing games. I'll tell you what. I'm going to play the fuck out of it. It's, yeah. I'm all about it. I can't wait.
Yep.
It's just... Does it, like, is the dude doing the voice, is it the dude who runs the lobby?
Lance.
Yeah, Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Is it him?
I think it said it in there. And Ian McShane, wasn't it, in the press release?
Really? Fuck yeah.
Well, I thought... Yeah. No, I mean, no Keanu.
Right. Too busy on, what is it? Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah, it says here...
Stand back, let him work.
The voice talents of Ian McShane and Lance Reddick.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Sweet.
Anyway. It's definitely not what I expected when I heard about this news. But yeah, after seeing the trailer, I'm like, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Right.
I had something very different in mind.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm so in. Yeah, sick. All right, what's next?
Next up, we got Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This was Ubisoft's been teasing a new Ghost Recon game. this week. And then yesterday, somebody on Reddit posted a thread on the Ghost Recon page saying they had details. The same guy who broke some Persona 5, a Persona 5 leak from a couple weeks back. Sounds like this guy probably works in retail, is my guess.
Okay. Yep.
He talked about how there's no news about multiplayer, but it's coming out on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox during October 4th this year. The game is called Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and it's going to be a 4-player story-driven experience where the main bad guy is Cole D. Walker. And we know that name from the Ghost Recon Wildlands update that we talked about recently. As which we thought was quite strange. We saw the Punisher.
Yep.
John, I pronounced it Bernthal. You said that was wrong.
Bernthal?
Yeah, okay. Let's go with one of those two.
One of those two.
Who is in it. I'm a big fan of his. He's done some... I think everything he's done is pretty awesome, actually. Everything I've seen of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was quite strange that he kind of showed up in that DLC, and it kind of made me think, okay, Ubisoft is doing something with this. Like, is he going to be in a new Ghost Recon Wildlands 2 game as the main dude, or like what's kind of going on? But from what this source is saying, that character is the antagonist.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. That's fucking sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
It's a sequel to Wildlands, right? Like a direct sequel.
That information is not clear yet. But, I mean, it's not called Wildlands 2. It's not called like Wildlands Breakpoint. It's just called Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's a strange one. It doesn't, like,
I'm just reading some more leak details. Apparently 4th of October this year.
Yeah.
All platforms, and it is a direct sequel to Wildlands.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to wait until, I guess, tomorrow our time for it to be confirmed. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Because I saw this guy's post when I was doing some digging. Was it yesterday or the day before? Because he posted on Ghost Recon, and it had like, I don't know, like 20 upvotes or something. It was pretty low down. And I looked around, I couldn't find anything on Breakpoint at all. I looked at like trademarks and shit like that Ubisoft's put in recently. Couldn't find anything. The only credibility the guy had was that he broke the news 2 weeks ago about this Persona 5 stuff.
Yeah, right.
Or he was saying, he was, claiming to have broken it, but he was quoted in a bunch of news stories. So I kind of dug around, couldn't find anything, and then this morning when we woke up, yeah, it looks like there was some leaks of box art and whatnot. So he was definitely someone to keep an eye out for, this guy. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to see more. I liked Wildlands, like, as a co-op game. I thought it was fun. It wasn't like mind blowing, but I think we had some good times with it. Had some good ideas, and Ubisoft has always done a good job of sort of refining their sequels and making them better and better.
Yep.
So if it is a Wildlands sequel, that's cool. If it's something entirely different, I'm still keen to see sort of what that is. And then also having this antagonist could be interesting, because I thought they've done some really good job with especially their Far Cry game of having some cool baddies. So yeah, interested to see sort of how this kind of plays out.
Yeah. It'll be... I mean, I'll obviously play it. If it's co-op again, I'll definitely play it. I had a lot of fun, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
details.
we'll find out more next week. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Dan?
Yep.
What else you got here? Randy Pitchford is still yapping.
I didn't put this one on. But yeah, he's now in a fight with
Claptrap.
I think I said this last week, but if I was working at Gearbox and working on Borderlands 3, I'd be really upset with him for basically robbing the game I'd worked on for 7 years or whatever the fuck of all its thunder because he can't shut the fuck up on Twitter. That's basically all I've got now. I mean, yeah. If they're just gonna fucking clap back at one another on Twitter constantly, then it doesn't seem like it's worth paying attention to. It's just drama at this point, which I don't really give a fuck about.
Yeah. I mean, there's something we were talking about last week about how the voice of Claptrap had changed.
Yeah.
We didn't really notice much of a difference.
No.
There was stuff going backwards and forwards saying that, like, you know, they didn't offer him any money, like he wasn't being paid for it, and then Randy comes out and said, we offered them a standard voice acted rate, he declined it. And then the other dude David Eddings came back saying that, you know, he wanted apologies and all this sort of stuff, and yeah, it's kind of spun out of control since then. To the point where now he's accusing Randy Pitchford of physical assault.
Yeah.
At one stage.
That's what he wanted an apology for, right?
Yeah,
for the assaults. Yeah. It's just out of hand.
Randy has stopped yapping on about it. He's back on Sea of Thieves, I've seen.
Well, how could he not be? He does love his Sea of Thieves, and it's pretty great. But yeah. It should have stopped ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyway,
this is why no one gets to interview Randy anymore.
I suppose, even though every interview I've ever done with him has been a fucking raging success.
Yeah.
And he loves me to bits. He does.
I feel like if you wanted to interview Randy, you've got to go directly through Randy.
That's
like through Gearbox, not through like.
Every time I've ever done anything with Randy, it's always been me talking directly to Randy, and he'll be like when I played Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And nobody was allowed photos, and then he was like, "Oh, this guy can take photos," because I was such a rad dude.
Yeah.
It's mostly because I love Magic. I'm pretty sure that's why he likes me, because I fucking love Magic, and I unironically love Magic. It does my fucking head in. I love it to bits. So yeah, I think people who do Magic love people who love Magic. I'm like the ultimate mark. But I'm just happy. Like, I think that's the best thing about Magic, right? Is like, you know, the chatter people have about, you know, oh, such and such is a mark, right? Someone who can be magic tricked quite easily. Illusions, Michael. Yeah, right? Like, it does seem a little bit cynical and maybe a little bit predatory, but if the person who is the mark actually wants to be tricked, fucking nobody's losing out there. The magician gets to do a sweet magic trick, and the person who wants to see the trick gets to see a sweet magic trick. Everyone fucking wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say EA is the magician and they tricked you into really liking Anthem, Joe?
I would say that you are the magician, and this transition is a really fucking... This segue is a terrible magic trick, and I don't like it.
EA investors call Anthem does not meet sales expectations.
Yeah, shocker.
CEO Andrew Wilson was on a call recently, basically saying that the launch of Anthem did not meet our expectations. He then went on to go and say that basically it is not just an EA challenge, it's an industry-wide challenge. You're moving from what was initially a BioWare game, which would be somewhere between 40 and 80 hours of offline play, to 40 to 80 hours of offline play, plus 100 or 200 or 300 hours of Elder game that happens with millions of other players at a scale online.
Right.
How long did it take you to finish Anthem, Joab? Was it between 40 and 80 hours?
Yeah, that's it. That was it. That's how long it took me to finish it, with all the masterworks and the Mega Levels 3 or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. How long did it take me? Maybe 40 to 80 minutes to get tired of it? Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, that's such a... I mean, you got to say something, right? Like, if you're Andrew Wilson and you want to keep your fucking job as Handsome Jack, I guess you got to say something to the investors to excuse why Anthem flopped. And that something cannot be
everybody's having problems.
Yeah, saying, oh, well, it's things are tough all over. Yeah, that ain't it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just an excuse, obviously. Like, and they need an excuse. So I guess that's all it is. It's sort of disheartening because I guess it means that they're resolving to not learn from their mistakes. It sounds like they're willing to try it again, but
Yeah.
there were so many fucking. It seemed like based on that Jason Schreier article, that like it was fucked from the top down. So yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't think they should try it again.
Mm-hmm.
But Battlefield 5 sold underneath expectations as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's not because they said, "Oh, if you don't like it, don't buy it." That's just fucking dipshits using it as an excuse. It's because people were so fucking burned out by Battlefront 2 that they weren't sure that Battlefield 5 was going to be any good. And you can't really blame people for feeling that way, even if they were wrong. Battlefield 5 was awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it was a bit of a line in the sand for some people, but that, like, those people, there's such a small fucking percentage of utter dickwads that it absolutely doesn't matter. I'd say that a lot of, I don't want to go all conspiracy Joab again, but I do think a lot of the noise that we saw online was part of a paid effort to just deliberately discredit Battlefield 5 because, there were trends. There were a lot of the people who said, it was bad because of the customization or the amputees or the realism. They always used exactly the same language, which very much felt like a bot to me. It always felt like you were talking to a bot whenever you're trying to argue against them. And you were always, like on Reddit, you were always instantly downvoted like 11 or 12 times immediately, which is bot activity. So yeah, seems like that one was people paid for that one to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, but someone did. Anyway, yeah. That's all I got.
Yep.
Apex
right,
did well
next.
for them, though.
What is?
Apex did well.
Oh yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of Apex at E3.
Mother of God.
But again, I mean, yeah, we've talked about it. The updates, as much as the whole burnout thing and whatnot, they still need to do something with keeping people engaged in that community. I'm still seeing posts a lot on Reddit every day, being like what's going on with this game? Like, there's no roadmap. There's no communication from anybody. It's kind of just lingering. It's like EA's waiting for June to dump all this information on us, and I think by then,
yeah,
obviously people aren't going to be like leaving in droves, but
dribbling away.
Something else is going to come out, and it'll steal its thunder if they don't get on top of this stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
I haven't played Apex in 2.5 weeks, I don't think.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, well, Sea of Thieves exists.
No.
I almost played it the other day, but then nobody showed up.
I thought about
fucking
it.
half an hour. Yeah.
That was about it.
It was so close.
I thought about it, looked on Reddit, and was like, no, nothing's changed. I'm good.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Activision Blizzard says they have big plans for the Overwatch universe.
Yeah.
Movies, Joab. Movies and comics and multiverses. What do you call them?
Wouldn't watch movies.
The OCU.
Oh, yeah, the OCU. Yeah, that's good. OWCU?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't watch comics. Sorry, wouldn't watch movies. Wouldn't read comics about it. I don't find the world to be all that interesting. I think what they're more likely talking about is a video game, some sort of single-player game, like a story-driven game. Oh, a card game. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. They got to do something, man. Like, they got to do something to Overwatch because it is stagnating, and they are losing players. They are losing pro players. They're losing regular players. People are tired of playing goats, and people are tired of playing with the same couple of characters. It is properly stagnant, and Blizzard has invested so much fucking money into this game that they cannot afford to let it fail, and they won't let it fail. But to stop it from failing, they've got to step up right now and fucking do something. They've got to kill goats. They've got to go out there like a bunch of fucking witches and specifically try to kill some fucking goats, because otherwise it's done. I don't want to fucking watch the same team comp over and over and over again. It's staggering.
But that's been the same since the game launched. It's always been, since it launched, it's always been that way.
No, but goats is far worse. Do you understand? Like, do you know what goats is? It's the 3 tank, 3 healer situation. So they don't even bring DPS into it, right? One entire section of their fucking game doesn't even get fucking played because it's far more efficient to just run goats and perfect goats and get really good at goats until you're at the point where nobody can fucking stop your goats. It's fucked, man. It's so dull. And I just can't fucking bear. Like, oh man, it's so cooked. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna do something about it, right? Like, it's dumb that we watch the international and almost every fucking hero will get picked, and you watch the Overwatch League, which is worth, you know, every team's worth $20 million or whatever the fuck. And you see the same 6 fucking characters every fucking time. It's fucked. It's fucked. Anyway, so they gotta do something. Yep.
Have you been following the Dota stuff? International?
No.
The new Battle Pass went up.
Oh, yeah?
It did, I think, 7.5 million in 24 hours.
Ooh.
Which is, I think it was 1.7 million more than last year.
Nice.
So, yeah, that game is still
kicking.
Still kicking. Yeah, I mean, that Dota's back on top of the Steam charts. Like, PUBG's fallen, I think, to 3rd or 4th at this stage. Speaking of PUBG, PUBG's been pulled from China.
Right.
The game. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. You can't play that game in China anymore. There was some news going back a while ago saying that the government was looking at pulling a bunch of games. PUBG was on that list, and it looks like Tencent has now sort of been forced to
remove it,
kill the release of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Right. But
in doing that, it's another game has popped up called Game for Peace, which is an exact copy of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but with a bunch of different changes in there. My favorite one that I've seen is that when you kill another player now, they drop on the ground and then stand up and wave at you.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, because they've pretty much just removed all the violence on it. There's no blood anymore.
Right.
The description of the game is that, like, it pays tribute to the blue sky warriors that guard our country's airspace. So it's like a
patriotic nationalistic thing.
Yeah, they're going for this whole
weird,
like, China's Air Force.
Thanks, I hate it. So should we get back into PUBG then?
No.
There'll be no hackers.
Maybe. Yeah.
I've been tempted, eh? I look back wistfully at the times I spent in PUBG, and I think, fuck.
I don't want to play with 100 and something ping.
We can play on the weekends. Apparently they run Aussie servers on the weekends. Pardon me. Yeah. We should check it out. I'm in. I'm doing it. I'm going in.
Don't do it, Joab.
I'm doing it.
Next week's going to be you being angry about installing it.
Oh, maybe.
Wasted all this time.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know about much of the other changes, but they're some of the ones I've seen sort of going around on Reddit. So, yeah. I don't know how this affects pro play.
Yeah.
Like, what happens from here? Are they playing two
4
different
a.m.
builds? Or, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's super strange, so we'll see what happens. Because China's gotten really good at PUBG.
Yeah.
There were some really top teams in it. They were pretty trash at one stage.
Well, we trashed them at one stage, but
yeah, we were trashing them. They've really stepped it up.
If you've seen, like, I've seen photos of the team houses they're in and stuff. Like, they put some fucking money into that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went fucking ham on that shit. So, Yeah. Yeah.
We had some of the Australians do pretty well recently
Yeah.
at the last big tournament. I think they got in the top 10.
That's awesome.
I watched a couple of those matches, but
Sick.
otherwise, yeah, there's PUBG for you.
Yep.
I think that's all we got for news.
Alrighty then. Too
Looks
easy.
like it.
And
Any questions?
no questions. So that's all we've got for this podcast. Oh, 2 hours. We made 2 hours. That's not bad.
Yeah, considering we just talked about the Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves?
It was me yapping
All right.
about for fucking half an hour as well. So let's, it's not got too far.
Yeah. All right. The Gap. You can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, all those wonderful places. You can find us on the Gap, the GA podcast. I think they're the two things that we're mainly listed under. You search for it, will show up. Please rate and review the show if you get the opportunity to. It helps other people find it.
Do it.
Which is appreciated. If you want to send us questions, you can email us, thegapodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can go to our Discord page, which is thegapodcast.com/Discord. That'll take you a link to the Discord app. And we got a bunch of channels in there. You can jump in and talk to us.
Yep.
There's a bunch of things on there. We play video games.
Jump in
Sea
and
of
play
Thieves.
Sea of Thieves with us. Provided we're not 90 minutes into a 2 hour long fucking tall tale.
Yeah. Apparently PUBG this weekend with Joab.
It's happening.
Do that.
It's happening. We're doing
Yeah. Otherwise, you can also find us on social media, facebook.com/GA podcast, which Joab updates, I think, weekly now.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, did you miss the last one?
Maybe. I don't know.
Twitter.com/GA podcast, and you can go to our website, thegapodcast.com. It's got all the links to things we just talked about, including past episodes of the show, if you want to go check them out. We talked about Borderlands 3 last week.
We did.
And chicken and bed.
Chicken in bed, yes.
Chicken in bed.
Oh, yeah.
I got my Google timeline email for the month,
yeah.
and I went and had a look because it wasn't working when I was over in LA.
Right.
And it turns out that I didn't go anywhere after that, so I don't know where you got your bed chicken. I didn't go with you, at least.
Right.
Bed chicken.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So I just got bed chicken on my own.
You should go check, see where this bed chicken come from.
I'll have to look it in. I'm pretty sure I turned off Google Timeline, though,
Why do you do this?
for my privacy.
Oh, it's so handy
I
sometimes.
know. Well,
What did I do?
yeah,
What did I do
like-
last night? Oh.
Like, hindsight has 20/20 vision, I suppose. But yes. Now, I've got no idea. I want to know where this chicken came from. God damn it.
Who knows?
Do you know what I think it was, right? The only thing, right, and this is one of those like super deep memories. Like those you reach in real close.
Like, is it a dream or?
No, this is like, I don't even know if it was actually related or not. But I do remember around the corner from that bar, I saw a food truck way before we even fucking went out. Before we even went out for dinner.
But what type
I
of
saw
food
a
truck
food truck.
hangs around at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know. Right? And I don't even know if that was that. I don't know that that's where I got the chicken from. Right? I just remember seeing a food truck, and I'm like, that's a theory. There's a potential that it might have. I just went to a food truck.
But at what stage are you like, I want some chicken, and they're like, how much? And you say, I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
In a bag.
Fucking just see that fucking garbage bag. Fill it with chicken, my boy.
And lots of hot sauce.
Yeah, just hot sauce it up.
I got a party to get to. This is my bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You can also find us on YouTube, thegapodcast.com/YouTube, or search a Gap will show up. As I said last week, we talked about Borderlands. I put up most of my footage. I think I edited bits out where I went from an interview and whatnot.
Right.
But it's there. It's not in, like, we don't upload this show in great quality.
No.
At the moment. It's I'll get there at one stage when I can
Streamline the system. Streamline the workflow. That's it.
But you can watch it. It's watchable. You can see us doing stuff.
It's fine. You see Job's whiskey shelf. His massive whiskey collection. And you can see Luke's cats being weird.
She's not weird. She's just sleeping. Oh, look what you've upset her.
Like, I don't know if that one's on me, eh? Yeah.
All right. So yeah, YouTube and that website, gapodcast.com, is all run by our Patreon members. If you want to help support the show, go to patreon.com/gapodcast. Appreciate everyone that does that every month.
You're the best. You
helps
are
us pay
awesome.
the bills, which are coming up very soon.
Oh,
So we'll definitely renew that.
sweet.
I think we should probably, right?
What?
Renew
Yeah.
the site.
What else are we gonna do with the money?
I don't. Bed chicken.
We could get a bag of chicken.
Yeah. I think that's it. Anything you want to spruik out you've been working on this week?
Go to Red Bull and check out my competitive analysis of Sea of Thieves Arena, because it's super fucking dumb.
How is that going?
It's a pretty dumb piece, but I thought it was interesting to me when I started writing it, and then I got like 900 words in to writing it, and I'm like, well, I can't really scrap it now. I've come this far, so I've got to put a couple of finishing touches up on it before it actually goes live. But
right,
it will be live by the time this is up.
You got to send it to the game director.
Oh, I don't know if I will. It's heavy duty on the old analogies. This one, I use a lot of analogies. None of them positive. Actually, I'm quite glowing about Sea of Thieves as a game, just not about Arena. Yeah, because it's dumb, and it shouldn't be.
Fishing, on the other hand.
Fishing, however.
Competitive fishing. That's what they need.
That's what they should do. Competitive fishing's a real fucking sport. I don't know how. Like, honest to God, I don't know how, but it is a real sport, and it could be a sport in Sea of Thieves. Why wouldn't it be, right? Like, you could draw up a chart and be like, you have to go catch this and this and this.
Yeah. And then have, like, hotspots.
Yeah.
Where, like, have it on the map, and, like, these are the hotspots, and...
You just sail over there, and, like, yeah, fucking amazing. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Game designers.
Should be, yeah. Scrap the arena and competitive fishing.
Competitive fishing.
Yep. It's genius. All right.
Sea of Fish.
What do you got?
You can go to Stevivor.com, check out my Borderlands 3 preview, and maybe some interviews. I've transcribed all my stuff. It was not a lot there I can use, but I'm putting something together. So yeah, that'll be Stevivor.com. Go there. Check it out. It's a website. Otherwise, you can go to Twitter.com/Lawrie. Watch me talk about NBA this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, KD might have fucked himself.
No, I've been doing this. We've been podcasting while the game's on.
It's true.
I'm 110% focused, except for when I'm looking at my phone.
I get pinged. It pinged on social media. People are like, oh my god, KD's out.
Yeah.
Because they know I hate KD.
Oh, they've got 3 more All-Stars to play with.
Oh. They're down 2, though. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be back. Might have some Rage stuff. Not sure yet. But there's some things happening. We got to figure out when we're recording.
That is a good point, because I have no idea.
We'll see. Maybe we'll have to do it early, really early. Or, or with someone else. We'll find out.
Tuesday or something, if we're going to do it. We'll just do a John Wick 3 review or something.
Yeah, we're going to John Wick
3
on Monday.
And we might do a John Wick marathon.
Oh, we could.
We could. We really could.
I think I've got all of them on 4K.
Fuck yeah. Okay, that's good enough for me.
I think I do.
There's only 2 of them, but...
There is, at the moment.
I'll make chicken wings again.
Oh. You got leftovers?
Big old bag.
Bring in a bag. Yep. Alright, that's it. Thanks everyone listening or watching, whatever you're doing.
Yep.
See you next week.
Bye.